Think about the smartphone in your pocket. Now, what if I told you it was put together from start to finish, almost completely in the dark? Not by people, but by a symphony of robots. Well, this isn't some sci-fi movie anymore. This is the reality of Xiaomi's new dark factory. And believe me, it's changing everything.
Okay, so let's break this down. What exactly is a dark factory? Well, the name is pretty literal. Robots don't need light to see, right? They use sensors and AI to get around. So you can run the entire factory floor 24/7 in almost total darkness. It saves a ton of energy, and it means you don't need human workers on the assembly line.
Get ready for this. This one number basically defines the whole manufacturing revolution we're talking about. 1. That is how many seconds it takes for this new production line to build a complete, ready-to-go smartphone. One phone every single second. Just let that sink in.
So how on earth is that even possible? A phone per second sounds like magic. To understand it, we've got to go inside this technological marvel and see how all the pieces fit together.
All right, here are the specs. This massive facility is in Beijing, and it's a $330 million bet on the future. And the heart of it all, the brain of the whole operation, is a special AI system they call Hyper-IMP. You can think of it as the factory's central nervous system, coordinating every single move, every robot, from beginning to end.
The whole process is like a perfectly choreographed dance, but with only machines. First, you have automated vehicles zipping around, delivering all the components. Then, robotic arms do this impossibly precise assembly work. We're talking folding a screen with perfect accuracy. Next, an AI-powered vision system inspects for any defects, way better than the human eye can. And finally, another set of robots packages the finished phone and gets it ready for shipment. Zero humans needed on the floor.
And here's where the real advantage kicks in. Relentless consistency. A traditional factory, it's limited by human shifts, breaks, people getting tired. But a dark factory, it just goes and goes and goes. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It never stops. It completely gets rid of the possibility of human error, which leads to a level of output that just a few years ago would have sounded totally impossible.
And all that non-stop efficiency, well, it really adds up. At full steam, this one factory is expected to turn out up to 10 million premium smartphones every single year. That's enough to seriously challenge the biggest names in the game, all from one lights-out facility.
But, and this is a big but, this incredible leap forward casts a pretty long shadow. All this progress forces us to ask some really difficult questions about the price we might end up paying, especially when it comes to people.
So, in a factory that runs in the dark, with no need for lights because there are no human eyes to see, yeah, the most obvious and urgent question is, what about the workers it's designed to replace?
I mean, when you put it side by side, the difference is just stark. For a business, switching to a dark factory is a total no-brainer. You get 24/7 operation, superhuman precision, and you slash your costs. But you have to see the other side of that coin. Every single one of those robotic advantages directly corresponds to a human job that is simply no longer needed.
And the scale of this is it's staggering. Smartphone assembly is a huge global employer. As more companies jump on this bandwagon, we could see hundreds of thousands of these routine jobs just disappear every year. This isn't a small tremor, it's a potential social and economic earthquake.
Now, look, technology disrupting jobs is not a new story. You had the Luddites freaking out about machines replacing weavers, and the assembly line completely changed factory work 100 years ago. But what's different this time is the speed. AI is pushing the accelerator to the floor, and it's happening so fast that our society might not be able to keep up with retraining people for whatever new roles come next.
So what's the path forward here? Look, the answer isn't to just stop technology. You can't put that genie back in the bottle. It's about figuring out how we can guide it responsibly. We have to try and forge a future that balances this amazing progress with the needs of actual people.
The factory of the future probably isn't going to be entirely human-free. The most likely path is some kind of hybrid model, where robots do all the repetitive, super precise, or dangerous stuff. This actually frees up humans for the roles that require things like creativity, complex problem-solving, and big-picture supervision. The goal has to be for people to work with the robots, not just be replaced by them.
But making that transition a reality is going to require a real strategy.
We're talking about massive investment in reskilling programs, teaching people how to work with AI and robotics. It means building stronger social safety nets to help people through the shift, and it really requires a focus on what some people are calling ethical automation, making sure that the huge benefits of these technologies are shared widely, not just by a few.
Which leaves us with the central dilemma we absolutely have to confront. As these dark factories start to light up our world with incredible new technological possibilities, we have to decide how we're going to build a future that's not just more efficient, but also more equitable. The technology promises a better future. The question we have to answer is, better for who?